Revelio. Wonder who lives here. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. How can I...
What do you have for sale?
What are we in the market for today? Have I mentioned you're welcome to stop by any time?
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see...
I'm curious.
The good news is that...
What do you sell?
Glad you are. If you...
What brought you?
Beautiful. As for... I've always loved...
I should be... Revelio.
An intruder!
Expelliarmus Protego.
You'll pay for that!
Levioso. Accio.
See when I get down from here!
Expelliarmus.
Thank you for making me a bit object of your suspicions. I know who my friends are now, don't I? No! I will make
Expelliarmus. Protego. Depulso.
Stop it!
Levioso.
I will have my revenge!
Depulso. Protego.
You're tired, so tired! I should have been booked. Still hoping to survive this, are you?
Levioso.
This doesn't...
Depulso. Mysterious and a bit unsettling. What to do?
You're here. Good.
Sebastian, that relic you mentioned,
I believe one of Slytherin's students stumbled upon the relic during an assignment to study sarcophagi in this catacomb. From what I read in a report by the student, they weren't permitted to take it with them, so I must assume it's still here. As I mentioned earlier, this relic grants its holder the power to reverse dark magic curses. If it's in this catacomb, I have to find it. For Anne. I need to see her.
I'd be interested to know what else the student discovered.
Have a look. Unfortunately, there's no name on it, but I suspect if it was important enough for Slytherin to stash in his spellbook, it's worthy of further study.
I'm ready to explore the catacomb. Perhaps we can visit Anne when we've finished.
Perfect. By the way, Ominous has been asking about you. You didn't tell him what we were doing, did you?
I didn't. I promise.
Good. Ominous would be livid if he knew what we were about to do. I'll be interested to compare what lies inside to what I've read about this catacomb. I'm sure that foul
Lumos.
smell is the scent of success. Try not to lose your nerve just yet.
Incendio! Expelliarmus! Levioso! Accio! Incendio! At least now we know we're not alone in here.
Perhaps that was it. And the rest of the team
Accio.
is set free.
Yeah, spiders aren't insects.
Don't start. We're here for a reason. I'd say opening them all is justified.
Wingardium Leviosa!
This room is taller than it looks.
Incendio! Wingardium Leviosa! Revelio!
Finding a chest in an inconspicuous loft. Brilliant.
Accio! Expelliarmus! Incendio! Leviosa! Accio! Protego! Incendio! Expelliarmus! Compulso! Revelio! Incendio! Accio!
This is the sort of great room I want to be buried in.
Surrounded by grandeur.
Even an altar with a pile of bones. Lovely.
Bones outside a sarcophagus. Seems odd. There's something here by the altar.
What did you find?
Accio! Wingardium Leviosa! Accio!
Depulso.
Did you hear?
Accio.
We're in the tomb. I assume eerie sounds come with the territory.
Revelio. Wingardium Leviosa.
We've made it this far, but clearly we have more to do.
Revelio. Accio. Incendio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
I need to find a safe way across.
Depulso. Revelio. Wingardium Leviosa.
Rickety bone bridge complete.
Confringo. Accio. Revelio. Accio. Depulso.
Looks like part of a student's diary. It mentions plans to return for the relic and conjuring barricades using bones.
Of course. The student's summary referenced the space beyond the Great Room, which means this can't be a dead end. Let's divide and conquer. You work on sorting out the bone barricades, I'll look around and see what we missed. Hold on to that diary entry. There may be more to it.
It does mention something else. It says their next assignment was learning the Imperius Curse.
Really? Interesting. We need to focus on moving beyond this room. But let me think for a moment.
Do you think the pages were left here on purpose?
Slytherin mentioned a student who excelled in charms and always carried a satchel stuffed full of notes. They might have been left on purpose, or the student may have simply dropped them.
Of course. I'll start to search for those barricades.
Brilliant. There's more to this than even I imagined. Look, bones stacked oddly on either side of this archway.
Leave no stone unturned. Or in this case, no bone.
Wingardium Leviosa. Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Incendio. Revelio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
You've done it. I knew we'd get through. I felt it in my bones.
Nice.
Before we trudge on further, I've just realized something. The student's diary mentions the Imperius curse. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to need it here. It's an unforgivable, but useful when you're outnumbered. Places the victim completely under the caster's control. So, if you'd like to learn Imperio, I can teach you.
It's probably wise to know the spell.
I couldn't agree more. A spell that could save your life shouldn't be unforgivable. You have a lot at stake. You have an ability that evidently no one's seen for centuries. Focus your wand movement. It's not an easy spell to master. Go. Something troubling ahead. Be on your guard.
Imperio. Incendio.
Leviosa.
Incendio. Imperio! Depulso! Accio! Incendio! Protego! Expelliarmus! Incendio! Expelliarmus! Leviosa! Accio!
Never knew spiders could make such a mess.
It's a bit dramatic, isn't it? Revelio! Accio! Revelio! Accio!
Suffered decay, just as the student's summary described.
I doubt anyone's been here in quite some time. Incendio! Revelio.
Another barricade.
Revelio.
Considering how well you did on the last one, this should be a cinch.
How gracious of you.
I tried.
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio. Accio.
That works. Keep going.
Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Revelio. Accio. Revelio.
This looks different than what we faced before. Now we're also dealing with rune symbols.
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
You are head and shoulders above these bones. Nicely done.
Revelio.
I see why Slytherin's student was so entranced with this place.
Expelliarmus. Incendio. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Imperial. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Incendio. For a moment there, I thought that would never end. Revelio. Accio.
Dead end. Lovely. All that for nothing.
Hold on. Don't give up yet. Revelio. Sebastian! The relic! Look! Could it be? The note and rendition of the relic. It matches. This must be where the student left the relic.
I can't believe it. After all this, it lines up. We've really found it.
What do you suppose is meant by the dark sacrifice required to realize the relic's potential?
I have no idea, but we're here for the relic.
I'm willing to ignore what the journal entry says. We're taking the relic.
Agreed. This is meant to be. For Anne's sake, I'm taking it. Let's get to Feldcroft. I must keep this relic secret, especially from my uncle. Ominous. The sounds we kept hearing. It was you.
You gave me no choice. I had to follow you. Sebastian, please, leave the relic alone. We can find another way to help Anne.
I'm sorry, Ominous, but I'm taking it.
No, you're not. If you won't put it back, then I will.
Hold on, both of you. Sebastian, please, take a step back.
Fine, but Ominous knows I won't step back from a fight.
Can't believe this.
How much did you hear?
Everything. I heard you encourage Sebastian to take the relic.
Sebastian's done his research. He knows what he's doing.
Sebastian makes things sound easy when they could be impossible or dangerous. We need to stop him.
And if nothing will change his mind?
Something has to. I need your help.
Sebastian's right. We need that relic.
I'm sorry. My mind is made up.
Are you willing to sacrifice your friendship over this?
I might be. How could I choose to stand by and watch him do this?
What if the choice wasn't yours? You wouldn't be to blame for what happens.
What in the world are you suggesting? Imperium?
Now that you say it out loud, it sounds absurd. But I have another idea. We allow Sebastian to leave with the relic under one condition. After this, no more.
I feel that's what we agreed to in the scriptorium. I'm being taken for a fool.
You're not, Ominous. This may be the only way to keep your friendship intact. Let's trust him to know what's best.
Fine. If I trust him on this, I'm trusting you too. The dark arts seem harmless until it's too late. Go then. Leave with the relic. I'll not say a word more. I hope I don't regret this.
Sebastian, we're ready.
What is it? I haven't changed my mind.
Ominous has. Let's go.
What? Ominous?
I'll explain on the way. Come on. Ominous and I found a compromise.
Ominous simply needs a moment with you and he'll change his mind. Is that it?
I told him we ought to give you this chance, that the relic is too important to ignore.
There has to be more to it than that. Tell me.
We agreed on what was needed, Sebastian. You have my word.
I never wanted to keep all this from Ominous. As we were leaving, Ominous wouldn't even acknowledge me. That's not like him.
He was troubled, Sebastian. Even though we agreed to it all, it's been a lot to take in.
I thought he understood. He knew we couldn't give up. All of this is important. For Anne. Get to Feldcroft. Rather Anne know what had to be done to get this relic. She was ominous. And it only upset me. Oh no, this isn't good.
What is it?
Smoke! Over there, by the hamlet. Feldcroft's in trouble. They're under attack.
Let's hurry.
Not quite. Stop! I'm afraid of heights!
Stay back! Keep out the way!
There's no way. Fight.
Keep out of strong reach! Keep out of strong reach!
You'll not win here.
Sebastian! Be careful! Mine!
We've got them. They'll retreat. We'll make them retreat.
Sebastian! Boy! What have you done?
Saved my sister.
With an unforgivable curse. From that damned book, no doubt. Your father would be ashamed. You've gone too far, Sebastian. Stay away from her. From all of us.
What did my uncle expect me to do? The Imperious curse saved Anne's life. That goblin was going to kill her.
You did what you had to do.
If I have to keep proving that to my uncle, I will. He cannot banish me from my own home. From my sister.
It might be best to let him calm down a while. May I speak to him? Perhaps I can help to ease the tension a bit.
You may be right. Very well. Probably best if I get away from here for a while. I'll head back to Hogwarts.
What was he thinking?
Pardon me, Mr. Sallow.
What Sebastian did was inexcusable. You cannot possibly be about to defend him.
Sebastian and I have encountered Ranrock's loyalists before. That goblin would have killed Anne.
This family does not resort to using dark magic even against our enemies. What Sebastian did cannot be undone. That you are defending Sebastian's behavior at all tells me everything I need to know. You are as guilty as he is. Sebastian is to come nowhere near Feldcroft, nowhere near Anne. Unforgivable curses are so named for a reason. If I hear that either of you continues down this path, if either of you uses dark magic, I will notify the headmaster immediately. Why, Sebastian?
Arresto momentum. Lumos. Descendo. Depulso. Wingardium Leviosa. Depulso.
Did you speak with my uncle?
I wish I had better news about your uncle and Anne.
Don't think I've forgotten about your goblin friend. I haven't. But I appreciate you setting our earlier discussion aside for now. Well, what did he say?
I'm afraid he wants you nowhere near Feldcroft. Nor Anne.
I had to stop that goblin from killing my sister. He had no right to banish me from my own twin. If he thinks banishing me means I'm going to give up on Anne, he's sorely mistaken.
He also said he cannot excuse the use of dark magic in any form, and that if he hears of either of us using it, he'll go straight to Professor Black.
Huh? That relic, dark magic or not, is the key to saving Anne. To reverse that curse. I will not lose Anne for good. I should send the crest to Anne. She'll know that we need to meet.
I'm afraid I don't follow.
Nothing, just a thought. Now I'm more determined than ever to learn what power that relic has.
What did you mean you'd send Anne a crest so that she'd know to meet you?
We just lost our parents, and we were packing up to go and live with Solomon. We couldn't take everything. She was carefully organizing her prized possessions, a box of artifacts she'd collected to do with our family. Jewelry, cards, old photographs. She got to her favorite, a handmade crest, and without a second thought, she handed it to me. This will keep you safe, she said. It holds no enchantment, but I've kept it with me since. That's how I can reach Anne. I'll get the crest to her with plans to meet.
Be careful, Sebastian. Your uncle could intercept it. We'll be expelled.
Even if Ominous is upset with us, he has no love lost for his family. He'd use their connections to the headmaster if we needed his help.
I shall wait to hear from you then.
Thank you. I very much appreciate you standing by me through all of this. I'll send you an owl when I have news.
Hello there.
Hello, Armeet. Do I recall you saying that you speak gobbledygook?
I did. I do. Speak it. Is this to do with the goblin I saw you with in Hogsmeade?
It is. His name is Lodgok. We could use your help with something. He's waiting for me near a goblin mine. Would you be willing to help?
Of course. How exciting. Well, might this be dangerous?
I think he simply wants to show me something that involves gobbledygook. If it helps, he's a friend of Sirona's.
Good to hear. Good to hear. If Sirona trusts him, then I feel much better.
You said you know gobbledygook, but how well?
I've been reading it for as long as I've been reading English. My parents have an extensive library. Once I grew bored with the classics, I devoured goblin writings. I'd tell you some titles, but you wouldn't understand them.
Have you ever spoken directly to a goblin?
Unbelievably, no. I'm so looking forward to it. Actually conversing in gobbledygook with a native speaker. Cannot wait to confirm subtle bits of pronunciation and tone that may have eluded me, being self-taught and all.
Lord Gok is waiting. Should we go?
Of course. I just want to check the pronunciation of a couple of key terms first. So I will meet you there.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented flu powder.
A friend who speaks gobbledygook is meeting us. Before he arrives, perhaps you could tell me why we're here?
Of course. Unfortunately, presenting Ranrock with the Helmet of Urtkot did not have the effect I'd hoped. Because he knew the details surrounding its plunder, he presumed I'd had help from a witch or wizard in retrieving it.
You said this would repair the chasm between the two of you. How did you not expect him to react this way?
I'm afraid we do not have the luxury of rational expectation when it comes to Ranrock. Damn Bragbor and his blasted journals.
Bragbor?
An ancestor of Ranrock's, renowned metalworker. If we are to work together, I suppose I must tell you more. Not long ago, Ranrock sent me to collect a recently unearthed set of Bragbor's journals. They described repositories that Bragbor had been commissioned to build for a group of witches and wizards.
What do you mean, repositories?
Large, magically fortified receptacles crafted from goblin metal. Ranrock recruited others to help me locate the repositories. We were to search anywhere that was connected to 5 names mentioned in the journals: Rackham, Fitzgerald, Bakar, Morganach, and Rookwood.
Rookwood Castle.
That is where we began our search.
Why does Ranrock care so much about these repositories?
He cares about what they contain. For centuries, wizards have refused to share their magical knowledge with goblins. Your kind will not even let us carry wands. Thus, many goblins, myself included, have spent our lives mistrusting wizard kind. Ranrock was convinced that the repositories contained a magical power that wizards wanted to keep for themselves. He is determined to take it for goblin kind. But
Here comes my friend Amit. Probably best to continue our conversation later.
Greetings, Lord Gok. It is an honor, sir.
You speak gobbledygook.
Oh, Bagalio.
Enough. Please do not tell me that was meant to be gobbledygook.
Yes. Perhaps my pronunciation was a bit off. I imagine certain dialects differ.
Pronunciation is not the issue. I barely recognize that as language. I trust you can read gobbledygook better than you can speak it?
I can, Sir Lord Gok.
Just Lord Gok. Thankfully, we only need someone who can decipher written plans, since I cannot join you in the mine.
What written plans? And why can't you come with us?
We need some idea of what Ranrock knows or is plotting. I suspect a careless loyalist may have left plans behind. And I'm unable to join you because I cannot risk anyone reporting my presence to Ranrock. All you need to do is not be seen, either by the eye above the enchanted door or a loitering loyalist.
Amit and I can do this.
I will await your return. I shall see you soon.
The door is looking at us.
Books so rarely prepare one for reality. A real goblin mind. It's even grander than I had expected. I cannot believe I met a goblin.
Let's just learn what we can and get out.
Look at
Revelio.
this. Impressive workmanship for so simple a device.
Impressive workmanship aside, it's the only way forward.
I still can't believe we're inside a
Accio. Revelio.
I've read about mines like this, but seeing one is
Accio.
something else altogether.
We need to be careful. As I'm sure you know, not all goblins are as friendly as Lodgok, to say the least. Wingardium Leviosa.
Clever.
Revelio.
Where are those plans gone? I had schematics in my hand a moment ago.
Revelio.
Never anything interesting around
Accio.
Afraid to fight?
Revelio.
Watch your step round here. Someone there?
We're being watched.
Matter of time till Ragnarok gets things right. Ooh, this should be good in there.
Leviosa. Incendio.
Wrap this out!
That was a
Revelio.
little more than I'm used to.
I'll get us through here safely, Amit. You have my word. Revelio. Incendio.
I feel like a character from one of the adventure books I read during the summer holidays.
Let's take a look around, Amit. See if we can find any plans.
Bound to be plans around here somewhere. A schematic.
Revelio.
Doing something. I can't quite make it out. Curious. There must be more notes around here. What could they be building?
Wingardium Leviosa.
I'll be quiet. Fascinating to see gobbledygook written in a goblin hand. The flourishes are extraordinary. Let me know if you see any more plans or schematics. We can't return to Lodgok empty-headed.
Why can't I hit you? Arrogant child! Get accustomed to that!
Descendo!
Confringo. Expelliarmus. Revelio.
If I'm translating this correctly,
Revelio.
I think that I am, they're building something rather large. But what? I will get to the bottom of what they've been building down here.
I can be used for better things than this so-called patrol.
Petrificus Totalis.
I feel as though I'm not alone.
Another schematic. What are they going to do? This mine is too small for whatever it is.
Revelio. Revelio.
Who's there?
Petrificus Totalis. Glacius. Confringo.
What's that? Who's there?
Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
I wonder if the boiler powers the lever. I suspect it must.
Revelio.
The boiler activated that handle. See it?
Accio. Incendio. Expelliarmus. Revelio. Accio.
Oh, this really is too much.
Stay close. I've handled much worse.
The boiler. This place is more complex than I had expected.
Accio. Revelio. Revelio.
The wizards will have no choice but to submit to us.
They were just here.
Is somebody there? Hello?
Before you were born. I'm a goblin, not a...
Accio.
Not quite. Number up wide.
Accio. Incendio.
One less shoot.
Revelio. Incendio. Depulso. Incendio. How many of them are there?
That should be the last of them, I'll meet.
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Arresto Momentum. Clever. Confringo. This is not good. They're building enormous drills, bigger than this mine could contain.
Let's get out of here and tell Lodgok what we found.
Revelio.
Must be a quicker way out of here than retracing our steps.
Revelio. Revelio. Wingardium Leviosa. Incendio. Leviosa. Accio. Can we please talk about what...
That wasn't so bad, was it?
It was. It really was. I'm afraid I've had enough adventure for one day. For a lifetime, perhaps.
Thank you, Amit. I couldn't have done it without you. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to have a word with Lodgok.
Understood? I'll leave you to it. Your goblin secrets are safe with me, but I get to write the book about this escapade someday. Without further ado, adieu.
They're building enormous drills, We found their plans. Ranrock must be searching for the repositories.
I fear you are correct. Other than Rookwood Castle, however, I do not know where else he plans to search.
I've been wondering about something else you said before we entered the mine.
Yes?
If you share Ranrock's views, then why are you helping me?
I expected Rookwood Castle to be deserted when I arrived to begin my search. So was surprised to find a witch there who had set up a sort of improvised research site. She was studying something so intently that she almost didn't notice me. When she looked up, I thought she would react with fear or disdain. But instead she did something that I will never forget. Without a moment's hesitation, she smiled and asked me to sit with her. She told me that she was a researcher and showed me a small, oddly shaped container with a strange symbol on it. She was certain it was made of goblin metal, but was unable to open it. She wanted to work together.
Miriam.
Yes. But how did you...
Professor Fig's wife. He told me of her research, and I know of the container.
Ah. The reverence with which she talked of goblins and their intelligence and skill, it caught me entirely off guard. I'd never been treated with such respect by a witch or wizard. So, to my surprise, I let her study the container if she would allow me to search the castle on my own. We parted ways, with her promising to share what she'd learned. More of Ranrock's recruits arrived, and we began to dig, eventually locating the first repository. Ranrock was thrilled with our discovery, but furious when I told him about Miriam. Berated me for trusting a witch, and I heard she had been killed.
You think Ranrock murdered her?
I don't want to believe it, but I don't know. After that, something shifted in me. I had seen how the power from the repositories was transforming Ranrock, transforming all of them. I could no longer remain a part of it.
Thank you, Lodgok, for telling me this.
I tell you all of this so that you understand what is at stake. Ranrock never found all of Bragbor's journals, but the ones he did find suggest that Bragbor at some point built a repository far greater in size than the one beneath Rookwood Castle. What you've discovered here today worries me deeply. If Ranrock learns of the location of that repository, I fear we shall be destined for a great war. I will find out what Ranrock knows. Watch for my owl.
I have thrilling news. I believe my next broom upgrade to be even more impressive than the last. Bust these switches as soon as you can.
I didn't keep you waiting, did I?
Not at all. I was just at the post office. Gran told me to expect a package, but it looks as if she forgot to send it. She didn't send me an owl this week either. Perhaps she's busy with her research.
What was she sending you?
Only some feed she's been developing. I was going to give it to Professor Howen for the measles.
What kind of research is she doing?
It varies from week to week, but it's always to do with creatures. Last week she was studying leg knots in plimpies.
What did you find out about the dragon you were tracking?
I realised that she didn't know the poachers had her egg, so when she left Horntail Hall, she would have headed straight to her nest. I went back to the tent and tracked her flight.
How do you track a dragon long after she's gone?
Tree canopies, burn marks, things like that.
Well done. You certainly know what you're doing.
I can't be certain, but I have an idea of one place she may have been heading. I thought we might go and see it for ourselves.
Of course. Shall we leave now?
If that's all right. I want to see how she's faring if she had a collar on. And she's likely frantic about her egg. Here we are. I do think this is where we'll find her. The terrain's typical of where the breed would nest. I suspect it's how the poachers found her to begin with. They likely camped here and logged her patterns. Perhaps nabbed her first and then her egg. Dragons are hard enough to wrangle, let alone maternal ones.
You got all of that from simply standing here?
You'd be surprised how easy it is to think like a poacher. Shall we see if she's home? We only need to return her egg.
You're making this sound simple, but this is a dragon after all.
Hebrideans can be aggressive, but they're also clever. She caught on quickly enough when you showed her how to escape the tent. She'll understand why we're here once she sees her egg. Then we can be finished with the poachers once and for all.
I don't suppose you've thought about keeping it, have you?
No, it belongs to her. Keeping it will make me just as bad as the poachers.
I don't suppose you've... If you're right about finding her here, how do we go about returning the egg?
Her nest will likely be in the heart of her den, which she will be keeping guard over. It might also be more charred than anywhere else, I imagine.
Well then, let's...
Wonderful. If she sees us flying about, she might take it as a sign of aggression or food. We should stay on foot. Oh, and one more thing. Let's not agitate her. Goodness knows she's been through enough already. I'm ready when you are. There. Above us. Good. It looks as if she wasn't collared like the other dragons. Poor thing must be worried sick, wondering what happened to her egg.
For what it's worth, she doesn't seem to have spotted us yet.
Let's hope it stays that way. At least until we've done it.
Glacier. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Potato. Revelio. How charming. They keep in touch with each other. There she is again.
Fan, she's breathtaking.
From a distance.
I wonder how good her eyesight is.
I beg your pardon?
I don't imagine the poachers fed her well. And from a distance, we probably look exactly like sheep to her.
How lucky for us. Watch your step.
Pity. She must have been starved to pick off a grab horn.
Or just raring for a fight.
There's no turning back now.
Wait here! I'll run ahead.
Whenever you're ready,
I'll draw her attention. Follow when it's safe.
watch out. It's her domain. She'll make sure we know it. Keep at it. We've just got to make it to the nest.
Oh, she isn't making it easy.
Not a warm welcome.
It's a little too warm, if you ask me. I don't suppose she listened to reason.
I'd normally try, but we're well past that. If we can get that, if we can get to the nest. Keep leaving!
Brilliant.
There's the nest. We're almost there. Why is every bridge here broken?
Repair her.
Now, if we just return her egg, we can hopefully make it out without too much fuss. That was brilliant! And did you see how clever? She left us perfectly unharmed.
Creatures are a lot cleverer than most people realize.
That's what Gran always says. The important thing is that we survived it, and we returned her egg. Thank you for doing this with me. Wouldn't blame you one bit if you wanted to head back to the castle and never think about dragons again.
Shall we head back? I'm ready if you are.
I am. After our dragon rescue at Hauntel Hall, I half expect to be ambushed by poachers any time I'm not in the castle.
Understandable. We did sabotage their fighting ring and steal a dragon egg from them.
True. So why haven't they come after us? It's not like them to let things lie. Unless
what?
Unless they haven't let things lie. Oh no, I can't believe I didn't see it. We need to leave. I need to send an owl. How could I have been so blind?
Potato! Accio!
on in. Don't be shy. You take care now, and I shall...
I believe I can sneak away without drawing my mother's eye. Meet me near Hogsmeade, and we will devise a plan.
You're worrying, Party.
Not enough reflection on the Hello again. Wonderful to see you. As before, I've arranged a special price on the broom upgrade for you. You're all set with the new upgrade. This mate?
You'd like me to report back with you?
You know me well. Miss Ray's is running. However, if...
I'm not worried.
I hope you are, Ray. Do be careful, of course. I look forward to our next meeting.
But there hasn't been a dragon in
Perhaps I could test out my new upgrade on the way.
Are you ready to put an end to Harlow?
I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan.
We must gather information from the friends of Mr. Bickle that Archie and Mrs. Bickle mentioned. Agabus Filbert, Otto Dibble, and Mr. and Mrs. Rabe.
All right.
I suggest that you speak with each of them while I head to the Hogshead. I saw some Ashwinders heading there. And as my mother would never go near the Hogshead, she is less likely to learn of my activities than if I were to wander the village questioning its residents.
Where am I to find these friends of his?
I do not know about Mr. Rabe, but his wife, Daisy, is often in Hogsmeade, as is Agabus Filbert. And Otto Dibble, he works at Gladrags, so you will likely find him there.
What sort of information am I trying to gather from these people?
They may know what evidence Mr. Bickle had against Harlow, or they may have evidence of their own. We simply need to know whatever they know.
Very well. I'll speak with them, see what I can learn.
I knew I could rely on you. We need to know how they are being blackmailed by Rookwood and Harlow. Meet me here after you have spoken with them. Hopefully, by the time you return, I will be able to move a bit more freely.
Accio! Revelio! Mrs. Rabe should be nearby.
Oh, Isco, what have I done?
Mrs. Rabe, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and I'm trying to gather evidence against him.
Poor Joanna and little Archie. And now Harlow has taken my darling Isco.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm a security guard at Gringotts, and my husband is a curse breaker for them. Harlow approached me about helping him extort my colleagues into giving him treasures from the vaults.
And you declined?
Of course I declined. Repeatedly. I thought they'd given up, until I came home one night and found my husband gone, and a note affixed to my door with a knife. The note stated that I only had a few days to reconsider helping with some banking needs, and that my husband would appreciate it if I acted quickly. But the help Harlow wants is help that I cannot give, and my dearest Isco is paying the price.
Why wouldn't Harlow extort your husband?
Isco's job is even more removed from the vaults than mine. He travels the world for the bank. He could do nothing for Harlow. I'm the one in the bank on a daily basis, which evidently makes me an enticing target for blackmail.
Have you helped Harlow since your husband was taken?
No, I'm worried sick about Isco, but he'd never want me to compromise my integrity. I also know that he's extremely clever. That said, I was hoping he would have escaped by now. It makes me concerned as to why he hasn't.
Are you sure the note means that your husband was kidnapped?
What else could it possibly mean? Besides, I came home to find that someone had trampled the daisies in our garden. It may sound silly, but those were Isco's pride and joy. He would never have let that happen.
Thank you, Mrs. Rabe. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful, albeit more than disturbing.
Mr. Bickle was trying to help us, but now he's gone. I don't know what to do.
I shall do all I can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Rabe.
Very well. Here's the note I received. You must be careful as well. Please don't put yourself in danger.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Thank you. I hope it's not too late.
Now, to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends. Otto Dibble works at Gladrags. I should check there.
Please tell me you didn't take it.
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir, I'd like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right. But we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack.
Oh, he's a good man. But even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note, when you-know-who came into the shop. I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill, Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, well, secretly engaged these past 6 months. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here, depended upon my cooperation.
What did he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly, in an instant. He said, your secret is safe as long as I can. I've been able to cover for his requests until now with some, but I can't keep it out for much longer.
Could you give me a bit more detail about the note?
It's on Rosie's special pink stationery. It has her monogram at the top.
What have you been doing?
Well, as I mentioned, creative bookkeeping. And I've also... Of course, none of this bodes well for my efforts to improve myself.
I met Mr. Hill the day of the troll attack.
He's a lovely man. But when it comes to Rosie, I fear he loses... I'd lose my job instantly.
Thank you for telling me.
I would love nothing more. As for Rosie's
Understood.
Now hurry off before Mr. Hill returns. Where were they?
We're on the right track. Now to find the last of Mr. Bickle's friends. Filbert must be around here somewhere.
Hello there.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Tragic what happened to Bickle. He wanted me to speak out against Harlow for an act of violence committed against me. But I feared Harlow's retaliation, and so I refused.
If you had spoken out against him as Mr. Bickle asked, perhaps Harlow would be locked away by now.
Perhaps. But perhaps I would have suffered a similar fate.
You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened?
Before my extraordinary wife, Dulcibella, passed away, she had just completed a small book of poetry. As a surprise for her birthday, one she never had the chance to celebrate, I had the book beautifully bound and plated in gold. One day, Harlow came calling to punish me for having spoken out against the Neanderthals that comprise Rookwood's lot. Before I knew it, I'd been petrified, and Harlow was rifling through my home. He found the book of poetry, with its exquisite gold plating. I watched helplessly, lying there in my entranceway as he walked away with the book, laughing as he went. I was shaken to my core. Still am, to be honest.
I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again.
I suppose I have no choice. Harlow does not like people talking, as you already know.
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty. It's not like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hog's Head. Perhaps I'll find her there. Natty must be around here somewhere. Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken. Revelio!
nosy little students get what's coming to them.
Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. Revelio. The footprints led to this room. There must be another way forward. Accio! A hidden door. Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. I'd better be sure I'm not seen. Revelio.
Student would be arrogant enough to come in here alone.
Just keep an eye out.
Miss a payment with me, and I'll make you pay through the nose.
Revelio.
They don't seem to care for me. Can't say I blame them, what with all I've done there. I've robbed every traveling vendor that's passed through here. They've never seen it coming.
Wrong you are.
If people don't want me to steal their
Revelio.
clothes, they better get a really good look.
I was a proud man that day, and there's more of those days ahead.
I've had enough of Feldcroft. Hope I never have to see it again.
Petrificus totalis.
Expulsor!
Disarm my wand, feel my wrath.
What are you?
Incendio. Accio.
No, don't.
Incendio. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Accio. Cabalso.
What are your thoughts on electricity?
Expulsor! Play like that, do ya? Try.
Expelliarmus. Incendio. Revelio. The book of poems that was taken from Agabus Filbert. He'll be thrilled to have this back. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio.
Hey!
Accio. Revelio. Expelliarmus! Something. Natty must be here somewhere.
You will not survive this fight!
Revelio.
Expulso!
Levioso. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Accio. Descendo. Confringo. Revelio. Depulso.
You'll regret crossing my path.
Arresto Momentum.
Expulso!
Glacius. Confringo.
Expulso! Expulso!
Protego.
Expulso!
Descendo. Confringo. Glacius. Expelliarmus. Incendio.
Stop it
Levioso.
right now! Well, you'll have to do death from above! Expulso!
Revelio. Revelio.
What are you, shy?
Now to finish the job.
Expulso! Expulso!
I'd advise you not to do that.
Expelliarmus. Glacius.
back!
Depulso. Descendo. Revelio. Mr. Rabe, Daisy told me you'd been abducted.
You spoke with my wife. How is she?
Worried about you. Are you all right?
I am all right. Thank you for coming. These locks are cursed, and there's an anti-apparition jinx on the cells. Even Natty's skill with wandless magic cannot free us. I need you to find my wand.
Use mine. We'll find yours together once you're out of there.
I need my wand for this. Using one with which I have no connection may not work as well or as quickly, and we cannot risk detection.
I shall do my best. Any idea where it might be?
It's nearby. I can sense it.
Understood. I'll find it.
Your friend...
Revelio. Incendio. Revelio. Mr. Rabe's wand could be in there.
I wanted someone else to. I can tell.
Mr. Rabe's wand. He'll be glad to have this back. Mr. Rabe, I found your wand.
Well done. I knew it was nearby. Now, you best stand back. One never knows how a curse will react to being broken.
Revelio.
Thank you, Mr. Isco.
My pleasure. And thank you, my friend. We owe our lives to your bravery.
Be prepared for
Revelio.
These Ashwinders must pay.
Revelio. Revelio. Otto Dibble's love letter from Rosie. He wanted me to destroy this if I found it. Depulso.
Let's find Officer Singer and put an end to Harlow. What?
Natsai Onai. I should have known. And you, the troll dispatcher. Oh, thank goodness the two of you are safe. Isco Rabe told me a couple of students had rescued him.
Is Mr. Rabe all right?
He is. Miss Onai, your mother will not...
Actually, Officer Singer, Natty and I learned of several Hogsmeade residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe to blackmail his wife and Natty, Rookwood and Harlow have also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you...
With all due respect, officer.
There's more to taking down an organization like the Ashwinders than simply... I must insist that you leave them to... Natsai, you may wish to speak with your mother about this before I do.
My mother will not like
Revelio.
Thank you again for rescuing me. We shall speak soon.
New instruments